welcome to my Mathcast. Today's intended audience is 6th graders, and our objective is students will use nets to determine the surface area of a three-dimensional figure. This Mathcast is created by Charlotte Mitchell. For this lesson, we have many vocabulary words to go over. We'll go over three-dimensional, area, surface area, net, base of a shape, prism, and pyramid. Our first vocabulary word that we will go over today is three-dimensional. A three-dimensional object has a length, width, and height. Below you can find some examples of a three-dimensional figure. Now let's review area. Area is the amount of space to cover a two-dimensional object. This could include a square, triangle, or circle. Now, surface area is the total area of all surfaces, sides, and bases in a geometric solid. For example, down here, to find the surface area, we would find the area of these two triangles and the area of all these squares. Then we would add them up to get the total surface area. Below is a figure of a net. A net is a two-dimensional pattern which can be folded to form a three-dimensional solid. This is going to be very important for our lesson today. The base of a shape is the bottom face and the top face, if there is one, of a geometric solid. Below we can see there is a pentagonal prism and a hexagonal pyramid. These green pieces are the bases of those shapes. It's important to notice how many bases there are in a shape so we can identify whether the shape is a prism or a pyramid. A prism is a geometric solid consisting of rectangles connecting two congruent parallel bases. Again, the green sides are our bases. A pyramid is a geometric solid consisting of a polygon base and triangle sides meeting at a common vertex. For all of our examples today, they will follow these directions. The directions say, name the solid that the net would create, and then write an expression for the surface area. Use the expression to determine the surface area. Assume that each box on the grid paper represents a 1 cm by 1 cm square. Explain how the expression represents the figure. First, we have to know what the base is. It looks like in this figure over here, our base is a square. And we know this because each side length is equal. Now, if we look at to see how many bases the shape has, we can only see that there is one, so this must be a pyramid. So the name of this solid would be a square pyramid. In our figure, we see that there are 4 triangles and 1 square base. Let's think about our expression now. We know that we have 4 triangles in our shape and a square. We are going to need an expression that will add the area of 4 triangles plus 1 square. So the expression I have written says 4 times the area of the triangle plus the area of the square will give us the surface area. Now I have substituted in our area formula for one of the triangles, and I have substituted in the numbers to find the area of the square. Now we just have to solve it. After solving, we found that the surface area of this shape is 40 square centimeters. By knowing that we had to find the area of each shape making the square pyramid, we were able to find the total surface area by adding up those areas. Now let's look at this shape. We can see that there are 2 bases for this shape, and I'm highlighting those in yellow. If you count the edges of our bases, you can see that each side is equal to 5 centimeters. This means that we know the base of our shape is a square, and we can see that there's 2 bases for our shape, so it must be a square prism. To find the surface area of this shape, we're going to have to find the area of our 2 square bases, and we'll have to find the area of the 4 rectangles that we have as our other sides. I have created an expression that says 2 times the area of the square plus 4 times the area of the rectangle will give me the total surface area of this shape. I have substituted in the values from our picture into our expression. Now you just have to solve. After solving it, you should get 90 square centimeters. Just like the last problem, we were able to find the surface area of this shape by finding the area of the shapes that make up the square prism. Now let's figure out which side is our base. So it looks like in this three-dimensional figure we have 2 bases. There's one over here and there's one right here. By counting the squares, we can see that our base is in the shape of a rectangle. And since there are 2 bases, we know that this is a rectangular prism. To create this expression, we can write that we need 2 of the rectangular areas plus 4 of the smaller rectangular areas. So your expression should look something like this. 2 large rectangular areas plus 4 small rectangular areas equals the total surface area. I have now plugged in my base and height for my large rectangle area as well as my small rectangular area. Now you just solve. Once you solve, you find that the total surface area for our three-dimensional shape would be 84 square centimeters. Again, we did this by adding up the area of the smaller sections of our three-dimensional prism to get the total surface area. Thanks for watching my math cast.